Hello and welcome. We are live with Braves outfielder Hayden Friese. It's a RoCo radio conversation. We've been doing mostly football players, high school football players going into over the course of the summer, but it's not every day that somebody gets drafted. It's very rare. So Hayden Friese had to get him on the line. Thank you so much for joining us, Hayden. Drafted in the 20th round by the Atlanta Braves, and now he's joining them in Florida. So you said you're in Florida right now. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so after I got drafted, I drove down here to Venice, Florida, at their spring training complex, and we're staying in what is called the academy. So it's kind of like dorm style rooms where it's two to a room, and we have cafeteria, 3 meals a day, and then we have like practice in the morning pretty much, and then a couple meetings in the afternoons, and then excuse me, really the rest of the day is. So it's our free time, so we just hang out, play cornhole, stuff like that. But yeah, hoping to be here for about maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and maybe in the year in Augusta with Low A, or just hang out here and play some games. So it's been fun.
Awesome. So every draft pick goes down to Venice, Florida, for the Atlanta Braves
Yep, yep.
with a
First, yep.
complex.
First rounder, everybody. Yep, everybody's down here.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start talking about your very early career. Growing up, was it your goal to get drafted? Was it just baseball was something fun, or what was it like when you were,
Yeah,
say 6 or 7?
yeah. No, it was definitely always. I mean, early age is definitely just playing for fun and stuff, and then once you, I think, start to get older and maybe pay attention to the game more and actually think about, once you get to high school, start thinking about college, it's kind of have to make that decision whether you like something you really want to chase or not. And I think for me, like I always, when there was always a question like, what's your dream? I was always like to play in the major leagues, and I kind of just kept chasing it. And I'm blessed and lucky enough to be out here and have the shot. So.
Tell me a little bit about your time at Moorhead, freshman year to senior year, because you were one of those who was interrupted by the all of the COVID mess. So,
Yeah.
so tell me about your career, high school.
Yeah, I mean, it was, my freshman year, I, played every game. I mean, we had a great time. We had a pretty good team. And then my sophomore year, we played 4 games, and then COVID hit, and it was kind of just like a shock pretty much, to everybody, just like everybody else. And so we played 4 games, and then my junior year came back, had a pretty good year. And then senior year played well too, and got committed to Western before my senior year, and it's a lot of fun. It's your buddies you grow up with, for your whole life. So no, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
How did you keep from falling off during that COVID period of not playing?
Yeah, it was just, just trying to find a facility, just going to any field that was open, trying to get into Moorhead, even though we, probably shouldn't have been in there, but just, trying to find a way to do something. So, I mean, even just getting the tee and like a bow net in the driveway and just swinging with my brother, whoever, just trying to get the work in somehow.
So you were doing whatever you can during that time period. So that you said right before your senior year is when you committed to Western Carolina. What led you to make that decision?
Yeah, so I mean, they were the only school that had offered me out of high school, and they offered me, and I really took like a couple of days and just talked to my parents, and they thought it was a good decision. I thought it was a good decision, and I made it, and it was a great decision. So I mean, it was the best 3 years of my life for sure. So I
What do you
wouldn't.
think? What do you think helped you the most in your baseball career at Western Carolina?
I mean, honestly, I'll just say playing with other good players. Like, I mean, we had multiple draft picks my freshman year. I mean, a couple last year, and then we had 4 this year. So it's just like being around, good players every day. And, I mean, even playing, competition, like SoCon's a mid-major. But, I mean, I think we stack up against the whole country, being honest with you. So just playing with a lot of good players. I mean, great coaches, Coach Beck, Coach Cordy, J.D. Mundy, who was there my sophomore year. Just all, pouring into me and all my teammates. And, we had some good players. So, yeah.
In between that time while you were playing in Western Carolina, you played some summer ball with Martinsville, Martinsville Mustangs, Coastal Plain League, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
So what led you to make that decision? Were there other teams that were summer ball teams? Coastal Plain League's pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Why'd you choose Martinsville?
Yeah. So one of a guy that played at Western was actually playing in Martinsville, and me and my family just rode up there to see his parents and watch him play. And one of the GMs came over, and like I had played games at Hooker Field, like with Moorhead and like fall scrimmages and stuff. So like I had been around those people before, and his name's Joe Haynes. Like he came up to me, and was like, "Hey, you want to play here next summer?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I, live at home, so mom was happy, so I got to live at home and play in Martinsville, and it was a lot of fun. So it was a good choice.
You see a lot of guys in the transfer portal in all college sports, but college baseball as well. What
Yeah.
led you to stay at Western Carolina for all 3 years?
Yeah, I mean, I would say just relationships. I'm still super close with guys that I played with my freshman year up to this year. Like we all stay in touch and keeping up with each other. And I just didn't. It didn't feel right to me just to leave if there was money on the table or a Power Five school, a bigger atmosphere. Like you just make the most of where you are. And I just felt like I owed it to Western to just finish out there. So yeah.
You said that it's been a lifelong goal to go to the MLB or at least get drafted in minor leagues, whatever. And going into your junior year at Western Carolina, did you think that that was a strong possibility that it's happening after this year, or were there doubts?
Uh, I wouldn't say doubts. Like, I mean, it was always in the back of my head. Just like, I was really just focused on just trying to have a better year than I did my sophomore year. And, I was lucky enough to do that. And, we had some great players on our team that brought scouts, to games to watch them. And, me playing well got my name out there a little bit. So it was just a good time.
So you had a fantastic junior year.
Yeah.
So after junior year ends, what was your thoughts? What's the draft process like? How do you find out if you think you're going to get drafted? What was that like?
Yeah. So to begin, like I had a couple like agents and advisor companies like reach out to me and wonder if I wanted to work with them and stuff. And then I hired an agent and went from there. And he got me into a couple like pre-draft workouts, like along with Coach Beck at Western, just from having scouts text him and just ask if I wanted to come and stuff. So I went to a couple of those workouts and stuff. And then, my agent contacted teams and just asked them what they thought, and they kind of tell him what they're thinking, and then he tells me like, he was expecting me to get drafted, and I did. So it was a good process.
So going into the draft, you thought, "Oh, this is pretty likely," especially because your agent had told you that.
Yeah, I was definitely going in expecting to go. So
When did you or where were you when you found out? What was the situation like? Were you hanging out with the family or watching on TV, waiting for a phone call?
yeah, so I was just sitting at the house. We were just grilling out with some family friends over. My girlfriend was in town, and we were just sitting at the house about to eat. And yeah, I was just sitting there waiting for the phone call from my agent to hear what they were, hear what they were saying. And he called me and told me that the Braves were going to take me in the 20th round. And we waited a couple minutes, and then they said it on the TV, and it was a lot of hugs and tears. So yeah,
What did it feel like?
it was just hard work pays off, like they say, and just knowing not just not giving up and just knowing that it's attainable if you really want it. So it was, I would say, just a lot of relief too, but also a little bit of hunger too, because drafting the last round, kind of use that as a chip on my shoulder. So
Trying to get that perfect mix of accepting the accomplishment, but also looking forward to what's ahead
yeah,
and
no
not stopping here. So as the rounds went on, 20th round, last round, were you scared? Were you nervous? What were you thinking as the rounds just kept going on without hearing your name called?
Yeah, that would definitely say there were some nerves and a little bit of tension in the house for sure. Just because I was told and it was thought that I was going to go a little bit earlier, and I hadn't yet. So once the 19th round ended and the 20th round was about to start, there were definitely some tension in the room. But thank God it happened. So
Jonathan Hadley in the comments, he's my color commentator. He says, "Is he happy about going to the Braves, especially with the amount of local Atlanta fans?"
yeah, for sure. No, that I know a lot of Braves fans in the area, and it's good to, they're the closest to us. So, yeah, it's pretty cool to play for, I guess, the hometown team per se.
So you yourself, you're not a Braves fan, but you're more than, or if you weren't a Braves fan, I
Yeah.
assume you'd be a Braves fan now.
Yeah.
But
Now, yeah.
is it also the fact that they recently won a World Series? Does that play into being excited that you're going there?
Yeah. No, it's a good organization for sure from the top down. So I'm pretty happy.
Were they on your radar as a team that would possibly draft you, or had they not reached out yet?
They had sent me a couple questionnaires to fill out like online for the draft, but I hadn't talked to a scout or anybody in the organization, so I wasn't expecting them to be in the fold, but they were. So
What happened immediately after you were drafted? What was that like? Did
say it
they?
again. Sorry.
What happens immediately after you're drafted?
Okay. Yeah. So immediately after, got in contact with some of the people that run the spring training complex down here where we were coming, and they kind of gave me the schedule. And I think I got drafted on Monday, and then I had to report here by Sunday. So I had a couple of days. I had to go down to school and get all my stuff out of my apartment, and then come back home and pack up. And then I drove down Saturday, and then stayed the night and went reported on Sunday. So yeah, that was about
When
it.
did you officially sign your contract with them?
Tuesday night. This Tuesday night of this week, I signed.
So most of your career has been spent kind of in this area, Western Carolina. 3 hours away for college isn't bad. Martinsville, playing there, you got to live at home. Are you? What's your thoughts on having to go all the way to Florida? I mean, I'm sure you're happy with it, but
Yeah,
getting to go all the way down to Florida for this next phase of your baseball career.
yeah, yeah. No, I would say it's kind of just like going off to college. You're away by yourself, but you just have a new family. Wherever you're at. So it really hadn't been too challenging at all. It's just but down here we all have the same dreams and goals, so it's fun to compete a little bit with each other and just be able to see where everybody goes from here.
You mentioned those dreams and goals. What are your main goals while you're in Florida currently at the complex?
Yeah, just keep keep learning. Honestly, there's the game that it changes every day. There's something new to learn every day. So just listening. We got a lot of great baseball minds at the complex right now. So just trying to soak it all in and enjoy every moment. Yeah, just try and get ready for the rest of the minor league season if that's possible, or just put as much work in as I can down here in Florida and come back for spring training.
You've made the city of Eden very proud. Any message to the fans that you've got up here?
So I appreciate the support. We got a really great community. Moorhead High School, just great fans. Parents, everybody, the community bought in. So yeah, appreciate y'all.
Any information on Judson that he wouldn't want us to know that you can tell? No, I'm kidding. But what have you got to say about your brother Judson?
He's stud. He's next. So he'll be hearing his name soon. Well, a couple years. So yeah, hope he gets drafted in the first round.
All right. Thank you so much, Hayden. We are so proud of you up here in Rockingham County, and we wish you the best of success with the Braves. Go enjoy it. Go keep working hard.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We've got more RoCo Radio interviews. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube and Substack to stay tuned for RoCo Radio conversations. Thank you, Hayden.
Yep, see you.